Hey everyone, it's Deej again. I'm sitting in my car because it's the warmest place. My office is freezing. And I just thought I would make another lunchtime video because I have a few minutes to kill and, I don't want to go back to work. And I have some things that I need to remind myself of, and maybe a few of you also need reminded of. And that's the concept or idea of making progress in the gym, in athletics. I have experience in making, with making progress or not making progress, particularly in powerlifting, and it's just an interesting concept to kind of take a look at when you have a chronic illness. Generally, if you have a healthy individual and they're consistent in the gym, several days a week, they try their hardest, they have a good program that they're following, but mainly that they are consistent, they'll see progress. Generally, I would think that their progress would look like a log graph, so it kind of goes up and then slowly starts to taper and even out. It's as you are a novice, you make gains pretty quickly, and then as you get years under your belt, you make gains less slowly until it kind of tapers off. So I would say that if you're a healthy individual and you're consistent in the gym, you should be making progress in a semi-log graph shape. Now, obviously, life gets in the way, and sometimes you'll go back down a little ways and then back up, and you're sick, so you go back down, you have a back in, but you get better, and then, not quite that extreme, but it's hard to be exact with my finger in the air. But yeah, so mostly making progress in a pretty consistent fashion. Now, if you have a chronic illness, making progress can be more difficult because you can have days, weeks, months where you are physically incapable of working out. It's actually a detriment to your health to say go lift weights. I have periods of time where I physically cannot consume enough calories for it to be advantageous for me to lift. It would just be driving myself into a hole, a bigger hole where I get more and more sick, and my chance of recovery is less and less. So it's important to know where you are, to know how you're feeling. And so when you have a chronic illness, like I do, like gastroparesis or any other number of chronic illnesses, the idea of progress can be, sorry, I'm shaking the camera, a little more complicated because you make progress and then you have a flare, and then you make progress and then you have a flare, and then you start to make progress again, but you don't get back up to where you were before because then you have a flare, and then you have some life stuff. And so it's like you can go make great progress for a while and then you get really sick, and you always seem to be dealing with the same level of fitness. Like, it's hard to push beyond those limits because it's hard to get that dramatic increase. It's literally like 5 pounds every 6 months because you just get knocked on your ass. And it's a little hard to swallow for someone like me. I don't think that I have an ego, but I work really hard, and it's hard to work really hard without seeing the benefit. And that's something that I feel, and so I have to, remind myself that I'm doing the best that I can. It's not like a gold star or trophy, but it's like, this is what I am physically capable of doing right now. And that's what I can give. So, you know, it can be a little difficult when you're trying to compete, when you start to make progress and then shit happens and you can't eat food or you get sick or whatever, and then you start to make a little bit of progress and get healthier and you only get back to where you were before shit happens again. And, you know, I think I've been struggling with the same squat PR for like 2 friggin' years now, and it blows. Like, it blows to not make progress in that area. But I really think that just because you aren't making lift progress, you are still making progress. Like, every time you get back on the horse, you're becoming a better person. And so I think that's important to realize if you struggle with a chronic illness and are involved in athletics, that you might not be making progress in the numbers that you're putting up. You might not be running faster, you might not be lifting heavier weights, but every time you start over, you become a little bit stronger. And, you know, it's easy to keep going with something if you see the progress, if you see the results right away, but I would definitely say it's harder to keep going with something, to keep trying again and again if you don't see that progress. And so, you know, it's an important perspective to keep in mind that every time you try again, becoming a better person. So, just my little reminder. I hope you all have a happy hump day. The week is halfway done. So, awesome. Have a good day. Bye.